I'm John Ivanuska with nGageteam Consulting. I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar entitled Creating and Verifying Your Footprint in Connectbase. This webinar is the first in a series aimed at identifying keys to optimizing your Connectbase experience so you realize more bang for your Connectbase dollar, so to speak. So the Connectbase ecosystem is incredibly powerful and very dynamic and is the industry standard for staging and selling your network to all potential buyers across the industry. But it does take time and resource devoted to regular care and feeding to establish and maintain a robust and valuable instance. It's really not a set it and forget it situation, which in our experience can create some customer frustration. So we at nGageteam, we provide deep technical resource on a cost-effective fractional basis that can be used and customized to companies' particular circumstance. Next slide, please, Manit. Next slide. Can you put that forward? Yeah, there we go. I'm joined today by August Zahner, principal at Mytra Consulting, and Jim Murphy and Manit Binder, my partners at nGageteam Consulting. August and Mytra provide a wide range of telecom consulting services, including process automation, sales enablement, operation optimization. Jim and Manit are former project managers, project leaders at Connectbase, and bring a deep expertise which allows nGageteam to focus on helping Connectbase customers maximize the value of Connectbase through robust and effective instances. I'd now like to welcome Jim, who will elaborate on the critical importance of a valid and complete serviceable Connectbase footprint, which is the foundation of having an effective instance and maximizing your value from this powerful platform. Jim?
Thanks, John. Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm Jim Murphy, project lead for nGageteam. And Manit, if you could advance to the next slide. Just to let you know, the value we bring is we understand the industry, we know the Connectbase solution, we have relationship with many of the carriers, and we've done this before, so we can help you free up your resources. If you can advance to the next slide. The core to Connectbase is the building list. This is how you're found. If this isn't accurate, you'll run into a lot of problems because everything is built on this. So we kind of want to walk you through how you can update and verify your building lists. This is done through regular audits, implement checks for new data, and it's the core of managing your data inside the system. There's 3 methods for updating your database. It's through either individual entries, through spreadsheet upload, and through real-time updates. Any one of these will work for you. It just depends upon how large of your footprint and how often you're changing your data. So I'd like to introduce Manit as the lead engineer. And Manit, if you want to take over.
Yeah, thank you, John. Thank you, Jim. Myself, Manmeet Pinder, and I am here at nGageteam working on the technical lead side of the house. And today we're going to go through some of the methods that Jim just described about updating and creating a new record in buildings using a building list for the customer. Essentially, there are three different ways of doing it. One is you can simply upload using manual method, then the other one is using Excel file, which will be like a bulk upload, and third is the API call. We'd like to go through all of these ones, but first of all, we'd like to see that, okay, why we need to do this? Why there is a need for any of the building lists to be updated. Most of the time we have seen that all this data which is sitting there in the system is currently old. So old that we sometimes miss to actually update it. So looking into the current data and verifying the modified date, when it was updated last. See, one of the screens that you see over here is showing you the data which is from 2019. That shows me that the footprint over here is maybe outdated, possibly very, very old and needed to be updated, to be honest. It could have been moved out or something. So that's the need. We need to verify the existing building list so that we are up to date, our customer is up to date, and nGageteam helps that in every essence of it. So how to do this? How do we export this old data? How to update this old data with the newer one is the essence of this webinar. Essentially, in the same screen, when you go into your login to your instance, you will see that when you click on my location, there are 3 ellipses on the very top right corner. This will click on those 3 ellipses and you will be a drop down that shows possible options of exporting the selected data that you just select, or you want to export all the data that you want to update. So selection is solely based on what you really select, and it will just export the selected one. This is how you do that. So once you know that you have selected that data and want to update it, you have options to update all the necessary fields. So once you download that exported data, it will be an Excel file. The Excel file will be something like this. And if you see this, the file live over here, which I just downloaded, and this file is telling me that this data is having all the necessary field, but it needs to be updated. Either the network connectivity is down, is not accurate, or it has been moved into different carrier, or any other things. How do we do that? Is simply take the data and change the transaction indicator into U, basically, which is called update. Or if you want to delete it, make it D, that is called delete. So how do we modify this data? In this webinar, we will be going into this, the details of all those three methods. So this third operation is to create, update, delete Connectbase locations in any instance. This is a normal way of doing it. When we do this in a bulk upload using an Excel file, we will do the same process, log into your instance, go to the three ellipses, and you will see when you click on those three ellipses, you will see the same format as we discussed earlier. You can import a sample file that will be your live data that you want to put in as a new data, or you can export the existing data and then modify it. So these are essential two things. It will look something like this. When you have the screen, simply download the sample file. This is a sample file without any data into this, where you will add a new data. But here is the very crucial thing that you have to keep in mind when you do this sample import file. You have to make sure that some of the required fields, which are absolutely mandatory for Connectbase robust system to actually understand and give another information about the building, about a street address, about a network connectivity status. So these are all the necessary fields has to be added when you do any kind of update, any kind of new data, or any kind of delete. So I will briefly go into this one. Street address is simple. Building category is either commercial, healthcare, or airport. These are different categories in Connectbase. Network connectivity status is either on-net or off-net. Building connectivity status is on-net or off-net. Network is near-net or on-net. So transaction indicator is either new, update, or delete. So these are all the essential fields. Same way, when you click and you try to add a new data, you have to make sure that you add all those necessary fields in. So sample file will be something like this. So when you add, for example, 619 West 1st Street, you have to make sure that you add a building name, street address, network connectivity status, building status, and building categories to start with, along with the access medium and the transaction indicator. I have used transaction indicator as N. That tells me it is a new transaction indicator, new data. So once I have all this data, all the data ready to go into the file, see, we have to make sure that those fields are there, but none other are there. It will still work because Connectbase is very smart in pulling all the other information for you from the ecosystem. So you can do 1,000 records, or you can do 10,000 records all at once. So once you go into it, I have saved that file, which I previously updated or added with the new data, and I named it as test building w.xls. You simply, in the previous screen I have shown to you, you can simply choose that file from your local and upload that file in the system. From the very, that you can see those two buttons right over here. And once you start uploading the file, there's a queue behind the scene that works, that will tell you that it is now 100% loaded or not loaded. You will see an error message if there is any error. If there is a successful, you will find everything is successful. This is the message that tells you this. Once I have that data and the file uploaded 100% in the system, I need to verify that. Go back to your My Location and then simply type in the building name. From the file, pick anything, and you will see that I have used 619 West Street, and it has given me the information that I have just added this data from the supplier name Verizon, and this is now available in My Location table. So this is the one simple way of using an Excel file to upload any kind of new data. Same thing with the delete. We do the same process, but here only difference is transaction indicator has to be D for the same file that we used earlier. It is used as D, and we simply upload this file. It will delete the existing record from the system. This is how we do this using an Excel file, which will be a bulk upload, bulk delete, bulk modify any of those ones. Next, the simple manual methods of doing it, which is way simpler. Go back to the same location. On the very bottom right corner, there's a plus sign. Click on the plus sign to enter into this screen where you will find that you have to enter some of the information. Same thing as the necessary fields that need to be added. For example, I highlighted them right over here. Building name, street address, postal, network connectivity status, building connection status, and the access median. And then these are the necessary field has to be added. So once you add that field, for example, I chose 90 high state. But this is a very important feature in Connectbase that auto-complete your data. So if you type in 90 high state Boston, it will give you possible option that this Boston location can be in UK, but which one you're interested in is 100% accurately location truth added into the street name or right over here from the Connectbase ecosystem. You will right click, you will just click on this one and it will auto complete that for you. And this will be a valid location that is recognized throughout all the other carriers in the system. Once you have that, this is the location that you add. And now you see that this location is added. So even if you are in a doubt that you don't know that, if I miss something, you simply click on a save button. The system is smart enough to tell you that, okay, the building name is empty. You have to fill this place. So this is how you verify your error if there is any error. These are the required fields you added. And same thing with the verification, you simply type in the building name or you type in the address that you just added. I added test building 1, and this starts showing to me that this is now added in the system using the manual way. Last method I want to go through is the API call. This is for a little bit of an advanced method. It tells you about the API calls is the real-time update that you receive when you get the real-time data update. If you want to send it over to Connectbase through Connectbase through API calls, this is a real-time update. Automation, integration, and data verification. All these ones are necessary if you are building a system that really needs to be updated frequently using an API calls. So automation is like, okay, you want to trigger something else in your system using Connectbase building list, or you want to integrate your system, for example, Salesforce product or Salesforce system into the Connectbase. So this is how you using an API calls. And how to use them is simple. That you see is using a post create method. This method is you have to have an API key from Connectbase given to you as a registered key that will tell you about the post method that you can use or what other method you can use to create a building. This endpoint over here with api.connected-to-fiber.com is only for the customer who has the key, who have bought this API calls. Using this call, using a post create building record, for example, you will see I have already again used the necessary field, access medium, connectivity status. These are the necessary fields I've used, and that created a response to me that will be added into the system. This is how you use API calls. I just want to conclude with this, that once we have done our work on the building list update or building list added a new data into the system, we have to make sure that this data verification process has to be 100% accurate so that we are not missing out the next carrier out there or the next supplier or the next buyer out there in the ecosystem from the Connectbase. So the building locations should be accurate so that our product catalog is accurate. If the product catalog is not accurate, there will be less service offering and the pricing will be totally outdated. So building location is the key to make sure that you are selling the right amount and the right to the right buyer or to the right seller out there in the system using Connectbase product catalog. So I would like to give this over to Jim, so who will talk about what are the other essential things for the data verification.
Sure. Thanks, Manmeet. Yeah, the big thing that we wanted you to, as a takeaway from this, is that the building location is critical. If you're not found, then your product catalog, your service offerings, your pricing, none of those really matter until the building location is accurate. So I don't know, Manmeet, is there a next slide on this?
Yep.
So the big key takeaways for us is we understand it's not as easy as it sounds, and maybe it even doesn't sound that easy. I sometimes have to rely on Meet for support on keeping the buildings accurate. Your building list is like your business card in Connectbase. If it's missing or outdated, people won't call you. If it's not in my locations, it doesn't exist at Connectbase, so we want to make sure that's accurate. Whether you use it, the manual or through a bulk update or through API really depends on your needs. If your building list is changing frequently, then API might make sense. If it's only being updated weekly or monthly, then the spreadsheet or the CSV file might make sense. If it's only a one or two at a time, then manual might work for you. But it does take time, it does take resources, and the big thing that we can help you with is we can offset those resources. So if you don't have anyone to administer your system, let us know. We'd love to help. We hope this is a good, at least, understanding of how you can verify your own data. Do an export, look at the last modified date, sort by it. If it's more than a couple of weeks old and you know you've made building changes, then you know your data is missing and needs to be updated. So nGageteam is here to help you with implementation, tracking solution requirements, managing your product, auditing your system, reviewing error logs, following up with your teams. We could actually sit, audit your system, see when it was last updated, reach out to the teams, ask if there's been any changes, get the files, and take care of that for you. So with that, I'd like to conclude it. I'm not sure if there's any questions, and if anyone would like to ask, or you could even email us. It does look like we have a few questions here in the chat, so let's see what we can get to before the end of our time here. First one that was asked was, how often should we be updating our building footprint in Connectbase? And what are some of the best practices that the top performing providers are using? Really, that depends on how often you find your buildings are being updated in your current system of record. If you're doing weekly updates, monthly updates, you should be matching that with Connectbase. So yeah, I mean, the simple answer is if you're updating weekly in your system of record currently in your buildings, then we should be mimicking that here in your connected world instance. How is it verified or visible to potential partners or buyers? They don't actually see the record upload date, and that's part of the problem. So they don't know it's out of date, only you'd be able to know that. So you should be verifying it. I recommend a weekly task to do it, maybe monthly if you're not doing a lot of updates, but more is better in this case. What's the biggest mistake you see the providers making when loading their data? Really just not frequently enough. That's probably the biggest one. Other than that, it is just mismatched data. Buildings are loaded as connected, and when they're not connected, they're near net when they're not near net. Accuracy is important, but the biggest one I'm seeing is just not frequent enough. No, the next question I saw was, can we get the same level of support from Connectbase account team? Probably not. In this case, they'll definitely help you when there's an issue, but you have to raise the issue to them. If you're verifying your data and it's out of date, they're not going to really know that, and they're not running reports to test for that. We can do that with you based on our understandings that we have with you. If you tell us that your buildings are updated monthly, then we'll run a report to make sure that your data is matching.
Yeah, so Jim, there is a last question that I just received. How does the pricing catalog interact with the building footprint? And what's the best way to ensure our pricing is accurate, competitive, and visible to potential buyers?
Sure. Would you like to answer that one to me, or do you want me to take
You go ahead. You go ahead. That's fine.
The best practice for this is to run test quotes. Put the address in, put the service in, see if you're getting the quote back that you would have given your buyers. If that data isn't matching, then you've got a breakdown somewhere. It could be in your pricing. If it could be in your service catalog, probably in your pricing. But we recommend doing test quotes, and that's kind of what we do here at nGageteam. We'll actually take the building, run it, the address, run it through, verify your quote, and compare it to a known good that you've given customers in the past. If it doesn't match, we're going to question why.
Yeah. So basically, like, it's a pricing catalog. If it is not accurate, the building locations are not accurate, nothing just works. So the building locations are the key. You can have a very good pricing catalog, but if your locations are not accurate, it's no use of it. So it's very important that we have in the Connectbase is a very smart system. It should be fed a nice and good data to get the best results out of it. So where the Engage team helps right in that, so that we make sure that the correct data and everything is 100% accurate. So in this way, we need to close this now. I don't think we have any more questions. If there's any other questions from any other member, please reach out to us. We can be reached via LinkedIn or through website.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, everyone.